I didn't really watch too much of Streamer University in the sense that I didn't watch like entire live streams of Streamer University. I mainly just saw what happened through clips and just people posting clips on the internet because that's kind of seemed like the easiest way to see what happened. And from what I've seen, it was genuinely mostly positive. A lot of the time, it just seemed like people were having good times. People were, having good lessons, I guess, as professors. And, unless I was getting what the kids call joy baited, it seemed like there was a genuinely overall sentiment of just happiness to whoever went to Stream University and whoever was watching it. And I saw a lot of clips of just, professors actually trying this year. I saw so many clips talking about how Ludwig's lesson was just a one of a kind and had a lot of good information. So that was kind of neat to see. And it just seemed like, there was actually some effort going on there, not just the professors shit posting the entire time. And I did see one, I guess, bad actor, one person who really was, I guess, who became sort of a villain of Stream University and just had some clips that made everyone mad. This guy, and that was the OJ guy who just seemed like he was there to make everyone miserable, or just I don't even know what the fuck his point was there, but he was just there, and I have not seen really any good clips about him. But the main big clip that kind of made everyone mad about this guy was his interaction with Black Boy Max, where he basically went up to him and just made fun of him for having a diva tattoo, for calling him a sellout, made fun of him for having wigs, just basically making fun of him for expressing himself in the way that he's been expressing himself. It kind of came off, and I'm assuming it was, but it was just him being homophobic towards Black Boy Max, even though Black Boy Max isn't gay. And it just completely ruined the vibe that Black Boy Max like stream had. It seemed like he was having fun until this interaction happened. It just seemed like OJ was kind of being a terrible piece of shit. And we saw in Black Boy Max's stream after the fact, basically just saying like, "Hey, this was a bad experience, but I think I like more understand what gay people go through in their lives existing, just and people get mad at them for existing and trying to express themselves the way they are." So it kind of was a shitty situation overall, and it seems like this OJ guy is just kind of an asshole to everyone involved. But it seemed like he was also becoming the villain of Streamer University. We had clips like this with Ronaldo and Adapt, where he kind of like tries to interact with them, tries to mess around with them, and they just kind of call him like a loser, kind of call him a dork is what they said, where they just kind of tell him to fuck off due to his treatment of Black Boy Max and the way that he treated, their friend. And another thing too, and this is like completely random as well, but I saw another clip of him, and it was just also shows how much of a weirdo this guy is, a complete weirdo he is, where he literally like goes up to a creator there who was pregnant. She was pregnant, and he just goes and asks like, "Oh, can I touch your stomach? Can I touch your can I touch your baby?" And she says no, and he says, "Well, what if I don't like your baby?" That also feels like kind of weird. It just feels like his entire existence online is just to go out and, I guess, be weird to people, be annoying to people, and just kind of make people uncomfortable. It seems like that's the only things I've seen from this guy's type of content. And obviously, he was under a lot of flack, and a lot of people were mad at him. So this obviously calls for a response video, a response to what was going on in his brain, what was going on in his thought processes to I guess do these clips, more specifically the Blackboard Max clip, because that's the clip that a lot of people actually got mad about, and a lot of people actually were paying attention to, and a lot of people actually saw. That was kind of one of the more famous clips of the entire Stream University, was this OJ guy being a complete weirdo to Black Boy Max and making him uncomfortable. And it'd be a one of a kind scenario for a content creator to feel any sort of shame, do any sort of self reflection in any capacity. And so instead of doing the things that would be smart, like those two things that I mentioned, instead OJ did this, or he posted a video with this thumbnail and this title, exposing Black Boy Max with proof. And it's just Black Boy Max crying while he's leaning over him, kind of just like intimidating him in a way. So absolute kind of terrible loser behavior. It just, what the fuck are you doing, man? I feel like, I guess his entire content seems to just be antagonizing people, being the most antagonistic motherfucker of all time, where he just goes around and clip farms people, where he clips farms basically making people uncomfortable, making them act like afraid of him, or just like they don't really enjoy being around him. And then that's kind of his entire content, where he just acts like he's the bigger person, or he's the coolest man of all time. He or farms them, he mogs them, and all that stuff like that. That's probably what he calls it. Where it's just his entire existence online seems to be just old prank YouTubers basically at that point, where he's just trying to make people angry or mad, and that's kind of the best type of content of all time, is because then he looks like the The stoic individual while rage baiting, the angry people who dare to call him out for him being a weirdo. And another thing too is I can't believe that this is how he decided to grow his brand. And that's kind of what was a big thing for all the people at Streaming University. It wasn't just to, to learn from successful streamers. I had like Agent, like Ludwig. I think Valkyria was one of them too, one of the professors too. And it wasn't just to do that, but it was also to collaborate and also to, I guess, showcase your content on potentially the biggest stage you'll ever be in your entire life, unless you show that you're worth watching at Stream University. And I can't believe that this is what this guy decided to be the way he's going to showcase his content was just to be a complete asshole to everyone there. It seems where he just seemed like he was only there to make content to make people mad, and it just is beyond me for why this is what was decided to be how your content would be advertised. I don't know what it would be. I don't know what you could possibly do in your brain to make it seem like this is what you actually want your content to be viewed as and what like you want to show. But obviously, a lot of these clips are going to be largely viewed. They're going to be very, very viewed by a lot of people. So I guess that might be what the point is that no press is bad press. And as long as you get as many views as humanly possible on your content, then that's kind of a win. And even though a majority, maybe 95% of the people who are viewing his content are going to be people hating on it, it's the 10%, 5% of people who are actually going to watch him is what he cares about. Or maybe he actually cares about the people hating on him because once again, maybe he just likes the attention and people getting mad at him is the attention that he seeks. Can't really tell, don't really know what's going on in that brain of his, but it's just kind of a wonderful experience to see him just getting yelled at by a bunch of people for being a complete loser to anyone that he seemingly interacted with at Streamer University, as well as getting shut out by people who he was trying to make clip farm content with. I don't really know. This was like the only bad clip I really saw from Streamer University. A lot of it generally seemed like people having a good time, people having fun. I remember the I Love Puzzles, the librarian of the Streaming University. She got like $30,000 donated to her to help her start her puzzle business. That was kind of cool. A lot of people were, make it seemed like making friends and just having a good time making content. So it was genuinely an overly positive scenario, overly positive situation, and it just happened to be like there was just one bad omen going around, kind of just ruining the vibes for everyone else having fun. But that's really all. I wasn't gonna make a video on Streaming University until I saw like these clips. I feel like it's just once again the most noteworthy talking about point of all time. And maybe you could call me negative for talking about only a negative thing, and that is a completely fair thing to say, fair criticism. I won't say that you're wrong, but that's just it's just kind of the thing that I want to talk about most, and just was the most in my brain when I was thinking about any videos I wanted to make on Streaming University. Because I feel like this was the most important thing to talk about, was just calling out a loser more than anything else, I guess, in my brain. Once again, probably not the right thing to go about it. It doesn't really matter. I am a chud on the online. Who cares about me and what I have to say? Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye.